will be a speaker from the director of Legion Trend Company, Mr. Muhammad Nasi Islamuddin, and then we will move to discussion sessions. In these sessions, everyone will give. There will.
Thank you, Bu Nabila, for the introduction. So, our honorary guests, so today we will have a new agenda for Imara. That Imara is not only for discussing, for giving awarding for papers, especially for master degree awarding, but we also trying to train our students to become consultant. So as consultant, we already invite the leader, the owner, and the director of PT Legion Trend International, uh, Bapak Mohna J. Islahuddin, that he is the one of extraordinary youths in East Java, that he has some vision for traditional beverage that we call it Legion. So Legion Trend is about the beverage name is Legion. Legion is from Palm. We will see a video for discussing what is Legion. And after that, we will discussing about the vision of Pak Najee, that he wanting that the traditional beverage uh, become entering into global market. But right now, there are still problem about how to make it become known by younger people. Usually, the younger people always drinking the beverage that having a very that contain sugar and contain some ingredients that not good for our health. But again, it's a traditional beverage. It's free sugar, zero sugar, and it has no preservative ingredients on it. It very, very herbal, and it's good for our health. So how to introducing to the youngest generation and how to entering the global market is the problem for Pak. So we will discussing about the marketing side, how to entering the market, especially into global market. And we will discussing internationally because we have college from AGPSUTM Malaysia. We already have Dr. Irvani and Dr. Hamida with us. And also they bring their student also to discussing. So hopefully that we can set the awarding for who will be the best SME consultant. So hopefully there will be the new category for activity in Emara, and we can continuing, we can make it sustainable into our next Emara in 2025. So hopefully that we will help also Pak Najih with his traditional beverage Lagen. If you come to Surabaya, I already have the beverage with me. This is the product. Sorry that you can see it. This one. This is Lagen Millennial. So they already have the product with the package for millennial generation. So it's only 5,000 rupiahs. And they also already have the booth for franchise. They have franchising idea also as Lagen Nusantara. So today we will have presentation from Pak Najih that will share about the product that he have, and then we will go to giving some advice for how to become the product become popular to our young generation and into global market. Okay, so after this we will watch the video about the Lagen things. Have a nice discussion. Bismillah. Okay, let's watch the video about it. Yeah.
Indonesia has incredible potential, one of which is the Palmyra palm, but because of illegal logging and the lack of generations that conserve, this plant is starting to become extinct. Furthermore, the farmers are still afraid of processing the sap produced by the Palmyra palm into bottled drinks. There are many reasons, among others the reasonable sterile value, the less durable expiration period, and the unfavorable image circulating in society, namely becoming an intoxicating drink. Whereas farmers are actually capable of processing packaged sap water in a sterile manner and have received official permissions from the government to circulate. Moreover, the palm tree itself is also able to be utilized in its entire pot from its mid-roots, stems, and leaves. Moreover, it can be empowered to become a tourist destination so as to be able to get extractions for foreign tourists, so that processing solutions that move there is needed, one of which is UMKM Lagen trend. Therefore, the exciting potential can provide relief from farmers, nature, and the surrounding humanity, so that doing business while preserving nature can be carried out. Therefore, as the nation's generations, change begins with us, because if we don't start it, worldwide.
Okay, for introduction also that Pak Muhammad Najih is also the extraordinary youth in East Java, pemuda pelopor di Jawa Timur. So he already having awarding for that for make the legend beverage become the beverage that fit into our modern era. Okay, so uh, you may present. Silakan Pak Najih kalau ingin mempresentasikan dari legend trennya. Waktu dan tempat saya persilakan Pak Najih.
Sebelumnya terima kasih Pak Ganjar dan beberapa pimpinan dari Universitas Malaysia. Sebelum saya mengenalkan terlebih dahulu, saya menggali terkait story dari perjalanan Legendary sendiri ya. Karena secara story Ponontar ini sangat panjang banget dan juga sangat historinya sangat melegenda banget untuk khususnya di Indonesia sendiri. Jadi mengingat tahun 2016 kita mengawali dari sejarah berdirinya Legend Trend karena secara histori produk ini dipandang remeh pada kalangan masyarakat karena minuman ini kurang steril, kurang higienis.
Okay, so let me translate it for you, Pak Najih. So most people think that Legend is not a good product. They underestimate the Legend as beverage because the look for the bottle is not sterile enough. So they using the usable bottle just like from the aqua bottle, right? And then use it for Legend beverage, and they sell it like just like. And sometimes the people having some underestimate perception also because they think that Legend is the same thing with tua. Tua is from the same ingredients, the palm, uh, lontar ya, pohon lontar ya Pak Najih.
Iya.
Pohon lontar yang that become the specific that become the same category with a palm. That usually tua has been a beverage for having alcohol ingredients inside. So people think that tua and Legend is the same thing. That in the process, tua and Legend having some more ingredients that make it differently result. So it have the same ingredients, the main ingredients which is lontar or palm, but they have additional ingredients that make the tua having alcohol and Legend that's zero alcohol, zero sugar become extremely different. Ya, silakan dilanjutkan Pak Najih.
Oleh sebab itu, kita bagaimana pada waktu itu merubah yang awalnya menjadi masalah itu menjadi solusi terobosan baru dengan inovasi. Dan inovasi itu kita riset di tahun 2016, Alhamdulillah kita telah menghasilkan beberapa izin seperti BPOM, halal, ISO 9001 untuk manajemen mutu, dan untuk HACCP untuk izin ekspor.
Oke.
Karena ya.
Saya coba translate Pak Najih. So Legend already have been research from PT Legend Trend that it become the beverage that much more convenience for our modern era. And they already having some permission, some permit, some certificate from Halal MUI, right? And then BPOM, and then what kind of certificate again? sertifikat apa lagi Pak Najih? Dari
ISO
MUI,
9001 untuk
ISO 9001 untuk
manajemen mutu.
for the quality management, for the quality assurance. And then for untuk ekspor dapat
HACCP.
CCP,
HACCP.
HCCP,
Ya, HACCP.
HACCP, HACCP. So they already have many certificate and many permit for producing this traditional beverage. Ya, mau silakan dilanjutkan Pak Najih.
Ya, dari riset itu alhamdulillah kita menemukan kandungan yang sangat luar biasa, yaitu dari nira sendiri meskipun rasanya manis akan tetapi secara lab informasi nilai gizi itu 0 gula. Dan itu menjadi solusi di Indonesia khususnya ya, yang angka diabetes itu memuncaki nomor 5 terbesar di dunia dan juga menjadi trending topik di seluruh dunia untuk meminimalisir angka diabetes tersebut.
Okay, based on their research that the ingredients that not ingredient, the content of a lectin having a good thing for our health, that usually the problem for urban society is about obesity and diabetes, and that the lectin having zero sugar, that it must be good for our health. So if you give it to our children, to our kid, there will be no problem for their health because it having zero sugar. So it will good for it will be the solution for the problem in the urban or in the society. Yes, silakan Pak Najib.
Ya, kami berharap dari adanya value product yang sangat luar biasa tersebut, minimal kita sebagai generasi penerus bangsa bisa melestarikan dari pohon lontar tersebut, karena secara story dulu problem ini itu menjadi masalah karena masyarakat menganggapnya tidak ada manfaatnya, sehingga pohon lontar itu mau ditebang ceritanya gitu.
So usually the farmer thinks that the palmery, the lontar or nira having no value added for them. And Pak Najib having some idea to how to make the lontar become more valuable, having some value added. So this is the solution that make the lontar or palm tree become something that useful for the farmer to producing the modern beverage for all of us. Ya, silakan Pak Najib.
Kami juga tidak hanya memberdayakan petani lokal, kami juga memberikan pelatihan dan edukasi terhadap petani yang kita bina, dan juga kita menghasilkan bukan hanya dari segi minuman nira lontar dalam kemasan, kita juga mempunyai beberapa produk turunan, di antaranya ada gula, sirup gula, gula lontar yang cair, yang padat, dan juga kita juga menghasilkan sirup nira lontar, kecap nira lontar, dan juga permen nira lontar. Dari harapan beberapa inovasi yang kita kembangkan, kami berharap petani lokal di Indonesia bisa berdaya khususnya di bidang pohon lontar tersebut.
Okay. So the palm tree not only develop into a traditional beverage just Legend, but PT Legend Trend also developing the product into another kind of product which is sugar and then syrup, ice cream, and even for cookies. So they already set the research and development for developing the product into something else that it will be good for our health also. Ya, silakan Pak Najib.
Kami berharap dari inovasi yang kita kembangkan itu generasi kita itu bisa apa ya, bahasanya itu bisa awam terhadap beberapa produk turunan kita karena mempunyai value yang sangat luar biasa dan juga bermanfaat bagi tubuh juga, khususnya dalam segi pelestarian budaya bangsa Indonesia kita.
Yeah. So based on the research that it having a goodness for our health, but how to introducing to our kid, to young generation, is something that become problem for PT Legend Trend. So we would like to invite you to discussing about how to introducing the product by PT Legen Trend, especially for the Legen beverage that uh, could be consumed by young generation. That this is something that refreshing, giving something that good also for our health. So this is the homework for us, uh, for all of the member of this morning FGD.
Kami berharap dari inovasi yang kita kembangkan, baik itu dari gula, semut, terus minuman dan lain sebagainya, kami berharap kepada Universitas Malaysia bisa melakukan kerjasama terkait pemasaran ya, karena secara value produk itu sangat luar biasa dan kami berharap bisa membrandingkan ke anak generasi muda yang sekarang gitu.
Okay, so the challenge that set by Pak Najee is about how to introducing the product, especially Legen beverage, into young generation and go to global market. That how to get into the Malaysian market also, and setting some promotion for young generation in Malaysia. That's become our discussion for today. Itu aja Pak Najee. Ada
Ya,
yang lain lagi?
terima kasih Pak Gencar. Ya.
Oke, maybe mungkin Pak Najib juga bisa share untuk video atau apa ya, produk-produk yang Eslegen Nusantara,
Ya.
Pak. Menu-menunya apa saja mungkin bisa ditampilkan menunya,
Oh iya.
sehingga all of the member of HGD having some insight about the menu of Legen that already having some fitness for our modern era. So it's not only Legen, but the Legen having some variant for the taste. Punya beberapa rasa kan Pak Najih?
Ya.
Mungkin bisa ditampilkan Pak Najih untuk menu-menu Legennya.
Ini untuk websitenya Pak Ganjar terkait tahu saya share di kolom chat ya.
Pak Najih share that Legen having zero sugar and zero calorie also, right? And they already having franchises also for S Legen Indonesia. That this is the first and the only one in Indonesia having the legality for halal. And this is the menu. Rasanya apa saja? Ada rasa
Ada
taro,
markisa,
ada red velvet.
iya ada markisa juga, leci, anggur, semua varian sih Pak. Kita bisa semua rasa.
Oke. Tadi gambarnya belum kelihatan yang minumannya Pak
Oh,
Najih.
iya. Ini untuk yang
Ya itu turun lagi
ya
menu
ini.
Eselgen. Nah, jadi bukan hanya sekedar apa minuman legen saja for all of our guests that it already having some variant for the menu. Ada yang taro, ada red velvet, mangga,
Tiramisu,
tiramisu, and so on and so on.
lemon, melon, banyak.
Lemon lime also. Oke, Pak Najih,
Iya,
selama ini kira-kira hambatan apa saja yang ditemui Pak Najih ketika mengelola Legen ini?
iya.
What is the
Karena
obstacle that you deal with?
ya, karena merupakan produk pionir juga Pak ya. Karena secara story kan masyarakat belum teredukasi terkait pengolahan nira ya. Karena selama ini menganggap nira itu kayak minuman memabukkan. Padahal secara fakta dan secara story itu minuman nira itu banyak kandungan manfaat yang mungkin belum kita ketahui. Itu yang menjadi tantangan untuk memperkenalkan ke generasi kita yang sekarang gitu.
Oke, so uh, the problem is about the image of Legen, yeah. That the Legen having image that it have the alcohol inside. That people make some similarity with the same beverage that we call it tua. Tua having the same ingredients, which is nira, lontar, or palm, the palm from palm tree, but it having additional ingredients to producing tua and to producing Legen. But the image from the society, from the public, making the same of tua and Legen. That one of the problem. Gitu ya Pak Najih?
Iya.
Sebagian orang masih menganggap sama antara tua dan Legen. That's become one of the problem that you have. And then people usually think about that Legen usually sell in the not sanitary and hygiene condition. Usually it's sold on the bottle that recycle from aqua bottle. So they use the aqua bottle for Legen beverage and sell it just like that. But the other small medium enterprise sometimes they sell it with a bamboo. Itu ya Pak Najih, ada bambu yang kemudian diisi dengan air Legen. Biasanya secara tradisional dimasukkan ke bambu ya Pak Najih.
Iya, tradisional di awal itu dipikul dengan cara dipikul untuk jualannya, Pak.
Yeah, traditionally people sold the Legen with entering Legen into bamboo and sell it into many area, into many village. Ya, ada lagi yang bisa ditambahkan Pak Najih?
Ya, karena lintas generasi ke generasi kan Pak, kita nggak mungkin secara tradisional lagi bahwasanya untuk memperkenalkan minuman nira itu dengan cara dipikul tadi ya. Oleh sebab itu kita bagaimana generasi kita bisa mencoba inovasi baru yaitu dengan minuman nira lontar dalam kemasan yang sudah terverifikasi secara izin dan secara manfaatnya itu sangat bermanfaat buat tubuh kita gitu.
Oke. Ya, terima kasih Pak Najih. Ya, jadi untuk urban society usually we drink tea or coffee and it very famous in this day that people go into the small restaurant, the small coffee shop to drink coffee or tea. But people didn't ever think to drink again. That this is one of the traditional beverage that come out into that could be the one that become solution for our health and could be something that useful to offering to the tourists. Okay, so we can open our discussion. Silakan siapa yang mau untuk memberikan saran dan masukan. There will be some awarding for the one who giving the best solution, something that doable by Pak Najih and team to sell the product, the Legen into Indonesian people, especially for younger people, and to global market. So, we will open our discussion. Silakan Bapak Ibu. Atau mungkin ada yang bertanya, if you still have something to be question to Pak Najih, so please. Silakan kalau ada pertanyaan.
Assalamualaikum Pak.
Waalaikumsalam
Ini
warahmatullahi
ya,
Dr. Ivani.
saya from Malaysia ya. Ada soalan ya. I have questions. Legen itu adalah jenamanya, brandnya atau apa? The word Legen itu.
Okay. The word Legen is the name of beverage.
Okay.
Yes, the original name is Legen. Then the brand name for the Legen that for the company is Legend Trend.
Intense.
But for franchise, they have the brand Eslegen Indonesia.
Okay.
And for the Pak Najih, yang didaftarkan mereknya merek apa? Legen Millennial.
Eslegen Indonesia, Legen Trend, dan juga Legend Trend.
Legen Millennialnya ini tidak didaftarkan juga.
Iya, masih dalam proses, Bapak.
Okay, so they have having some permission to branding many things, Bu Dr. Irvani, which is they have the name Legen Trend and Eslegen Indonesia and Legen Millennial. So that's the brand for their product.
Okay. Itu ya, Legen ya. So
Yes.
the main word is Legen. So it's okay because kerana ianya sama di mana-mana ya. Legen, Legen Trend, PT Legen. So it's quite standardized.
Yes.
That is a good one. Yang keduanya saya nak tanya adalah di Indonesia dipanggil pohon lontar ya. Di Malaysia kita selalu refer to kelapa laut.
Oh, kelapa laut.
Kelapa laut ya, kelapa laut. Okay. Target market Legen ini untuk Indonesia adalah young generation. Benar?
Ya, awalnya memang mungkin ini bisa menjadi semacam souvenir, oleh-oleh ketika kita berkunjung ke Tuban atau Gresik di East Java. Yeah, so usually it could become the traditional beverage as souvenir when we go to Tuban and Gresik in East Java. But right now they want it to be marketing to the young generation because the Legen become some forgettable things by younger generation. So usually they don't know about that. And even our young lecturer in here, they don't know about what is Legen. They didn't drink the Legen yet. So it become the problem right now that even the East Java person didn't know about the Legen itself. That become the problem, Dr. Irfan.
Okay, young generation. Okay, I need to understand that. So, kemasannya gimana ya kemasannya? Adakah yang tertera di ini screen? That is the kemasan, or how do you normally?
Najih, maybe you can share kemasan bottle that you have. So they have a bottle and from plastic and from glass. This is from the glasses.
Okay.
This is the glasses one. This is the two variants of Legen. The white beverage is the original one, and the brown one is having the taste of coffee.
Cafe.
Coffee. Yes. So this is the Legen with coffee taste.
Okay, this is kemasan in bottle, the glass bottle. But the one just now yang tadi tu di dalam apa?
Plastik.
Plastik itu adalah untuk kios ya?
Yes, this is for franchise.
Franchise. So, the issue for Legen now is consumer perception. The main issue is consumer perception ya. Tanggapan di mana Legen ini adalah sinonim dengan tuak.
Yes.
Benar? So,
Yes.
yang pertama yang harus dilakukan adalah to manage this perception. Harus betulkan persepsi ini. Selagi persepsinya tidak benar, okay, you can never go where. Okay, tidak akan boleh keluar. Jadinya, jika mahu masuk ke international market, for example Malaysia, you need to change the perception of the local people first. Harus ditukar persepsi konsumen lokal ya. So, untuk konsumen lokal, jika targetnya adalah young generation, okay, perlu diidentifikasi umur, range. How young is young? How young is young? Targetnya harus tepat kerana message yang disampaikan kepada konsumen itu akan menjurus kepada that young generation, ya. How young is young, that target market. Ya. So perlu diidentifikasi the age group. Okay, maybe the bottle kemasan botol kaca ini, ya, kemasan botol different target, dan kemasan untuk yang tadi tu, yang ditunjuk oleh
Plastik.
Pak Gancara, plastik tu adalah lebih sesuai kepada young generation, because kerana itu ada di franchise kios, ya,
Yeah.
kios. One, number two, dalam masa yang sama, okay, komunikasi kepada market harus dijalankan, ya. You need to communicate to change their mindset, to change their perception. Untuk menukar persepsi perlu komunikasi. Dan jika targetnya adalah young generation, okay, lihat kepada platform mana yang mereka selalu guna. TikTok, Instagram, Facebook, ya. Juga komunikasi mungkin jika targetnya adalah, because Pak Gancam mentioned just now, the young lecturers also are not aware of the legend. So it could start from the university. Okay, let the lecturers talk about it. Okay, bercerita tentang kebaikan legend. Then perhaps, the students would akan mengubah persepsi mereka dan mula bercerita. Okay, they start to talk about legend. That is one of the way to manage perception. Basic one, simple ones. Then untuk message-nya perlu ditekankan the unique selling point, USP. Okay, it's organic, it's sugar-free, yeah, and halal certification. Okay, especially jika mahu masuk ke Malaysia, itu adalah salah satu perkara yang kita nak lihat. Okay, but of course untuk masuk ke Malaysia international market, ada beberapa perkara yang perlu Bapak Najih patuhi. All this kind of like, macam jika Malaysia mau masuk ke Indonesia, kita ada BPOM, kita ada harus dipatuhi. So you have to find out in Malaysia, if you want to come in, apa yang perlu dilakukan. But besides perception, I would say you have to manage the perception dengan you need to tell the unique selling point just now. Okay, khasiatnya. Okay, organic, sugar-free, halal certification. Kalau di Indonesia, I think selalu they were talking about BPOM, ya, kelulusan daripada whatever majlis yang tertinggi untuk menunjukkan produk ini adalah selamat, bukan tuak. Okay, then you may also need to do some collaboration, ya, sustainability collaboration dengan pihak-pihak yang mungkin ada kena-mengena dengan kesihatan. I do not know, because tuak sakit, okay, penyakit.
Yeah.
Yeah, so you need to manage that perception by bringing in another counterpart, which is from maybe from not medical or kesihatan, okay, any kesihatan body, to educate the consumer. And not only that, I'm not sure di Indonesia ada nggak persatuan that talks about traditional product, contohnya herbal. If there is any, then perhaps you should also get their help, because mereka ada say. For example, di Malaysia, kalau untuk herba ada badan-badan yang melihat kepada whether or not it is safe, it is blah blah blah. Because if anybody that is not from that body of knowledge, ya, tidak berpengetahuan or tidak di endorse oleh badan badan-badan yang sepatutnya, then still it is akan menjadi susah untuk change this consumer perception. Yeah. One thing first is the perception. You need harus wajib untuk menangani atau manage this perception. Jika produk itu baik, tetapi persepsi masyarakat atau konsumen tidak dapat diatasi, persepsi negatif itu tidak dapat diatasi, then the product will not fly. Tidak akan boleh dimarketkan walaupun ke orang sekeliling. Ya, yang dekat dengan kita pun kita tak, we can never, market the product. However, if you are able to mengatasi perception, okay, terutamanya persepsi yang tadi disebut berulang kali, legen, tuak legen, okay, implikasi kepada kesihatan, itu yang utama yang harus diatasi. At the same time, buatlah komunikasi, ya, social media channel, ataupun talk, ataupun jika ada event-event, okay, mungkin disponsor kepada a small group, bukan event yang besar, okay. Find a group yang can be your positive word of mouth, okay. Itu yang paling penting. Of course, jika boleh dapat endorsement daripada artis, but that's going to be very expensive, and I don't favor that because they got paid. Mereka dibayar dan mereka akan mengatakan apa saja yang baik-baik, ya, because mereka dibayar. However, the best word of mouth yang terbaik adalah konsumen sejati yang mencuba atau membeli atau telah meminum tanpa additional bayaran. Mereka bayar untuk produk tersebut dan mereka consume dan mereka share the experience. Okay. Selain daripada itu, you have to also lihat jika ada kompetitor yang terdekat. Ada enggak, Pak Najih?
Saat ini belum ada, Ibu.
Belum ada. Itu untuk legen. Tetapi anything else similar yang akan mungkin bukan dari legen, pohon lontar, tetapi
sama-sama minuman tradisionalnya mungkin Pak Najih.
Yeah.
There any competitor from the traditional beverage?
Ada.
Minuman tradisional kira-kira apa ya selain legen?
Ada Sinom kayaknya.
Sinom, beras kencur, kunyit gitu, seperti jamu-jamuan.
Oke.
Iya sama-sama herbal drink, tapi sepertinya persepsi kita memang beda sih. Kalau Sinom kunyit masih bisa diminum biasanya untuk keseharian, itu sudah banyak yang jualan. There is so many people that already sold the kunyit asam, Sinom sebagai jamu-jamuan untuk keseharian for ordinary daily life.
Kerana apa? Kerana persepsinya adalah jamu kunyit asam itu adalah untuk kesihatan. Dari awal persepsinya adalah positif. Ya. Tetapi legen ini dari awal persepsinya adalah tuak. So itu adalah the bottom line that you have to. But it's okay. Boleh juga dilihat daripada contoh kunyit asam. Showcase your difference. Point of difference. How different your product from the rest of the minuman kesihatannya. Legen ini untuk apa? Tidak perlu banyak, tetapi spesifiknya apa? Contohnya, saya share ya untuk kunyit asam itu selalu wanita yang minum untuk menjaga kesihatan badan selepas bersalin or whatever. Ya, selalunya wanita. So, legen ini untuk apa? Showcase your difference from the rest of the competitor. Okay.
Kalau beras kencur itu untuk biasanya menambah nafsu makan gitu Pak Najih. Nah, kalau untuk legen ini biasanya cocoknya benefitnya apa manfaat?
Untuk
Menambah stamina atau apa?
ya salah satunya stamina dan juga minuman rendah gula gitu Pak. Jadi solusi
Ya,
untuk mengurangi diabetes kan sebenarnya. Zero sugar itunya.
How
ya.
is that? Okay, memberi tenaga,
Iya,
akan memberi tenaga, tetapi low sugar,
stamina-nya. Iya,
stamina.
low sugar.
Okay. Adakah dia boleh menjadi substitute kepada uh, minuman pemberi tenaga yang telah ada di market? Contoh, kalau di Malaysia, minuman pemberi tenaga 100 plus, ya.
Cutting gang, cutting head.
Ya, all those. Adakah dia boleh menjadi substitute? Jika tidak, jika saya minum Legen, I will get the same benefit as
Yeah, for me,
yeah.
Dr. Irvani,
Mm-mm.
I think Legen can be related by the soda beverage seperti
Ya.
Coca-Cola. Jadi
Okay.
ini kok seperti minuman Coca-Cola atau Sprite yang bebas gula, bebas pengawet tadi. Jadi
Okay.
minuman yang lebih menyegarkan karena seperti Coca-Cola, Sprite dan sebagainya kan tidak ada manfaat apapun juga sebetulnya.
Ya. Mm-mm.
They only give that it giving spirit, menyegarkan, refreshing things, right?
Mm-mm.
Jadi ya kurang lebih sama seperti itu. Ini minuman soda tradisional yang bebas gula, bebas pengawet. Seperti itu kurang.
Okay. That is a good idea of how you want to showcase kepada market, ya. And target that lifestyle yang consumer yang mementingkan healthy lifestyle yang bebas gula. Okay, perhaps the young generation itu tadi harus dicari mereka yang mementingkan healthy lifestyle. Um, uh, Mungkin mereka akan mencuba because sekarang mereka dengan adanya Legen di market, mereka akan merasakan that mereka mempunyai option, okay, selain daripada produk-produk yang sedia ada di market sekarang yang agak kurang sihat lah bagi saya.
Ya.
Ah.
Kalau di Malaysia belum ada ya seperti Legen ini that produce from the palm tree.
Okay. Saya belum pernah jumpa. Tetapi
Oke.
if I go to any of the shops, ya, di mall, kadang-kadang kan ada yang jual air kita itu. I always take kelapa laut
Hmm.
because I like the taste and I like the buah. Dia seakan-akan kaling-kaling, ya, tapi bukan, ya.
Ya.
So I like the chewy isinya yang chewy itu.
Ya, ya seperti itu seperti minuman kalau yang di Kalimantan itu ada lidah buaya.
Oh,
Jadi
okay.
lidah
Di
buaya
sini,
itu kan something chewy yang kemudian diberi sirup.
di sini ada produk tetapi bukan dari pohon lontar, ya. Mereka ada seperti apa ya, durian Belanda,
Hmm.
peria. So those are sellable. Marketnya adalah market, nak kata kesihatan, it's not, because I've tasted and it's so sweet. So I stop. I've tasted and it's so sweet, but mereka menjual ide mengatakan bahawa pohon Belanda ini baik untuk mengatasi kanker, ya.
Hmm.
Tapi when I drink it's so sweet, so I stop because if it is sweet, it can be apa ya, pemangkin untuk kanker tumbuh sebenarnya, ya. Sugar itu adalah pemangkin untuk kanker. Jadi harus dipastikan, ya, kalau diklaim sebagai sugar free, dia mesti betul-betul sugar free.
Ya.
Yep.
Oke, thank you Dr. Irvani.
Mm-mm.
Ya, jadi Mas Najih tadi yang disampaikan Dr. Irvani adalah pertama dari segi branding ada muncul konsistensi dari kategori produknya, kemudian brand baik untuk franchise maupun untuk nama perusahaan dari some konsistensi. And it's good to introducing the product. Untuk memperkenalkan produk ini sesuatu yang bagus karena ada konsistensi dari penamaan.
Mm-mm.
Kemudian langkah pertama sebelum memasarkan ke internasional adalah memanage local perception dulu. Karena kalau kemudian persepsi masyarakat lokal dan nasional itu juga kurang mendukung, maka akan sulit juga masuk ke pasar internasional. Jadi butuh support dari lokal dan nasional sehingga untuk memanage persepsi dari legen itu menjadi hal yang harus diutamakan. Itu saran dari Dr. Irfan. Kemudian untuk menjangkau pasar generasi muda, saya kira memilih media itu harus media yang cocok dengan generasi muda. Apakah masuk ke TikTok, masuk ke Instagram, mungkin Pak Najib bisa belajar nari-nari TikTok ya, TikTok dancing gitu. Mungkin bisa bikin legend dance atau apalah. Saya kira itu mungkin bisa menjadi sesuatu dengan pesan. Jadi pesan yang harus dimunculkan adalah bahwa legen sesuatu yang organik, sugar free, halal itu harus terus-menerus dimunculkan. Dan untuk masuk pasar generasi muda, saya kira kemasan yang batal itu kurang cocok. Kalau untuk batal itu lebih cocok di warung-warungnya. Tapi kalau untuk agar
Ya.
mudah dibawa oleh generasi muda, saya kira kita bisa meniru teh-teh kekinian
Ya.
yang dikemas dalam botol plastik sehingga lebih convenience untuk dibawa kemanapun. Lebih trendy dengan kemudian apa merek yang juga lebih apa ya kekinian lah desainnya. Jadi disesuaikan dengan generasi muda. Dan disarankan juga untuk membuat event-event yang membangun PWOM, Positive Word of Mouth. Kurang lebih seperti itu, Dr. Ivani.
Ya.
Oke, great. Apa ada respon, ada apa tanggapan dari Pak Najih dulu sebelum kita lemparkan ke peserta lain?
Ya. Mengenai persepsi, alhamdulillah sebenarnya persepsi itu tinggal bagaimana kita membranding dan mengemas ya Pak ya. Karena
Ya,
persepsi lontar dan tuak dan juga legen itu secara set di Google itu berbeda Pak. Jadi kalau tua itu tampilannya seperti ini. Nah, tua itu agak merah. Secara ini tua, kalau tua seperti ini tampilannya.
ya itu bagi orang yang tahu ya Pak Najih.
Iya,
Tapi bagi orang yang tidak tahu ya kemasannya juga sama. Ada yang tetap dengan kemasan botol plastik bekas kan?
iya,
Sama-sama dari botol Aqua, cuman warnanya yang satu lebih coklat, sedang untuk yang legen putih gitu ya.
iya.
Oke,
Dan secara kandungan untuk kesehatan kan berbeda juga. Tinggal bagaimana kita membranding bahwasanya secara uji dan khasiat itu berbeda. Dan itu menjadi tantangan kita untuk gimana caranya mengubah persepsi tersebut. Sehingga harapannya dari minuman legan itu bisa diterima di pasar modern dan juga generasi muda kita saat ini itu Pak, yang jadi tantangan
ya.
untuk persepsi tadi.
Ya, jadi perlu adanya penyampaian pengetahuan kepada masyarakat agar mereka bisa membedakan tuak dan legen. Saya kira itu yang pertama harus terjadi ya, Dr. Irvani.
Ya.
Jadi yang tahu bahwa kalau legen itu warnanya putih, tuak warna agak kecoklatan, itu mungkin Pak Najih. Tapi
Iya,
kalau saya
terus.
kalau tidak diberitahu juga tidak akan tahu bedanya apa gitu Pak.
Iya, itu yang perlu dibuatkan semacam mungkin ke depan itu ada video atau story dari
Ya.
nira tersebut gitu. Bahwasanya minuman nira ini bisa banyak bermanfaat buat tubuh kita gitu.
Ya, masuk ke acara-acara radio seperti Suara Muslim itu mungkin juga bisa dilakukan sih Pak Najih. Karena kan yang paling penting adalah suara dari masyarakat Muslim juga agar kemudian mereka bisa membedakan. Gitu. Oke, ada lagi tanggapannya Pak Najih?
Ya, untuk itu aja sih Pak yang terkait
Baik,
persepsi tadi gitu.
baik. Ya. Oke, kita lempar. So we move to other audience. So is there any FGD member in Zoom link that want to share the idea about how to marketing Legen? Silakan. Is there any comment from student in Malaysia, Indonesia, from Paramadina, Erlangga, please share your comment.
Yes, Prof. Assalamualaikum.
Okay, Ajlal,
Yeah, Prof.
do you
Actually,
have
I
any
just want to.
comment for suggestion or asking something?
No, I will just a little bit of consultation about globalization.
Okay,
Just few. Yeah.
please.
Thank you, Prof. So, first thing, you need to focus on your local market. When you get your local position, then you can move toward the globalization. I have few comments or strategies for you. First thing you need to conduct is conduct market research and select target markets carefully. So you can use different approaches. Start with market that have demonstrated demand for similar products, considering factors such as economic conditions, competitors, and culturals. Focus entry helps avoid over stretching resources. You can use some tools just like Google Trends, Statista, regional trade reports to analyze and demand competition. The second strategy is build a strong digital presence with localization. The objective of this will be reach and engage customer where they are with manages the resonate locally. So you can use the approach like invest in digital marketing channels tailored to each region, such as Google Ads, Facebook, Instagram, and region-specific platform. So you can use few tools like localized SEO, multilingual websites, and target social media campaigns that reflect local trends. And then the next strategy is adopt product to local needs and regulations. So objective of this is to ensure products are appealing, accessible, and compliant with the each market's trends. You can use approach like modify product designs, packaging, formulations, and if needed to meet local regulatory standards, climates, and usage preferences. For example, adjusting uh, packaging size of ingredients can be a simple yet effective way to align with the regional norm. And there are few tools like consider using localized SEO and target local social media campaigns. And third strategy can be adopt products to local needs and regulations that I have already told you. Then you can implement an e-commerce and omni-channel strategy that can create accessible pathways for. Can you hear me?
Okay, thank you, Ajlal. Yeah,
I have few points left.
yes, okay, thank you, Ajlal.
Yeah.
Ya,
Yeah.
Pak Najib, jadi saran dari Ajlal adalah pertama, yang paling penting adalah melakukan market research. Jadi riset pasar untuk mengetahui target pasar itu perilakunya seperti apa. Terutama secara lokal, mereka biasa mungkin kalau beli minuman di mana, melihat iklan-iklan minuman di mana, itu kemudian harus dilakukan riset lah. Jadi bisa jadi kemudian dengan sederhana kita masuk ke Google Trend. Masuk ke Google Trend itu untuk mendiskusikan apa kira-kira yang lagi tren di kalangan remaja misalnya untuk masalah beverage. Dari Google Trend itu kita juga bisa lihat tanggal-tanggal berapa kira-kira pembelian minuman itu meningkat. Terutama untuk legen ini cocoknya dipasarkan kapan gitu kan ya. Pak Najib juga pernah menyampaikan dipasarkan ketika bulan Ramadan cocok gitu. Karena untuk buka puasa kayaknya legen itu bisa menyegarkan. Nah, apakah kemudian dari Google Trend itu muncul juga bahwa ketika orang buka puasa, minuman apa yang paling dicari? Jadi mungkin bisa melakukan marketing research yang dari cara paling sederhana membuka Google Trend atau juga mungkin juga membuat Google Form untuk kita edarkan kepada mitra-mitra kita, kenalan-kenalan kita. Dari Google Form itu nanti bisa dibuat undian yang kemudian sudah menjawab dengan baik, memberi masukan, bisa dapat apa ya hadiah dari Legend Trend lah. Katakanlah misalnya dapat minuman gratis atau apa dan sebagainya. Untuk menstimuli orang untuk membantu melakukan survei sebagai responden. Mungkin itu bisa dilakukan market research-nya Pak Najib.
Yeah.
Okay, is there any suggestion from the audience? Ajlal is the student from doctoral degree in Airlangga University. Thank you, Ajlal. He is from Pakistan.
Yes, Pak.
Is there any comment, question, or suggestion from the floor, please? From for the one who come offline, mungkin Pak Dunga, Bu Nabila, Bu Nurul, kalau mau mencoba Legend, silakan ini. Tapi ini masih jadi es baru dari freezer. So please, if you don't know the taste of Legend, you may try Legend. So please try it and give your testimony about the Legend taste. Silakan. And maybe you can give some suggestion untuk Pak Najih. Oke, ini hanya Bu Irvani sama Pak Ajlal aja nih yang memberikan komentar. Ada lagi kah? Okay, maybe we can share something that we already did for Legend Trend also. That in some months ago, we already conducting podcasts. That the podcasts giving some insight about what is Legend, what the difference between Legend and Tua. So we already did that. And also right now we trying to find the key opinion leader. So in Master of Management degree, we have influencer also that usually Safira, the name of the influencer, having some testimony for many kind of restaurant. So I'm invite her to give testimony about Legend in as Legend Indonesia booth. So this is something that we already did for Pak Najih in Legend Trend. So we already trying to help PT Legend Trend to marketing the product as Legend. And maybe we will invite Pak Najih to become our guest lecturer in our entrepreneurship class to give some insight about how to start the business with the vision in the future that we want to be having some potential activity for our traditional beverage and our herbal drink. So we already did also. And Dr. Irvani, Dr. Hamidah, maybe we can have some research collaboration about sustainable product because Nira is something that having some healthy lifestyle also. So how to marketing the healthy traditional beverage into young generation.
Yeah, can. Sure.
So we can make some comparison also in Indonesia, in Malaysia. We not only discussing about Legend, maybe we can discussing about Sinom, about beras kencur, something like that lah.
Yeah.
Maybe something that familiar in Indonesia and Malaysia. So we want to know about the herbal drink for young generation. So I think this is good for research collaboration for healthy lifestyle products and for sustainable product, right?
Yes.
Okay, so I think for the student, you can make some research also about the same theme, sustainable product, especially for herbal drink, for many target market. So we can make some collaboration also for that. Okay, so if there is no more discussion, if there is no more suggestion, I think we will close our discussion for today, and we will meet again for the awarding announcement. I mean, Pak. Okay, so maybe we can meet again on the 11 to awarding announcement. Uh, it for best paper and all. Okay, so hopefully we invite you again on the 11 for the closing ceremony and also for the awarding. So please join with us on the 11.
We will use the same link.
Yes, the same link. Better. Thank you for all of the audience for our FG International FGD. So please fill the Google form for your attendance. Insya there will be some certificate for your participation, for your attendance for this international community service. Okay, thank you for all. Thank you, Dr. Irfani, Dr. Hamidah. Barakallah. Hopefully that we can uh, give give some development for PT Legen Trend, and this is part of our support for SDG for the point 4 about how to increase the quality of education, and the point 8 about the economic growth, and also we discussing about the SDG for 17 element that we discussing about collaboration for goals. So thank you for all. Barakallah. Inshallah we meet again on the 11 o'clock. Barakallah. Assalamualaikum.
Waalaikumsalam warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
And back again, Bu Nabila. Maybe you can close our
wait all the participants join the Zoom meeting. We will wait for 10 minutes again. Finally, we have arrived at this event. Awarding session and closing ceremony. Okay, so after this, Dr. Ganchal will announce the best paper for every concentration and also for the best SME consultant. Okay, nothing further ado. I will invite Dr. Ganchar to announce the winner. Dr. Ganchar, time is yours.
Okay, thank you, Bu Nabila, for the opportunity to share information to all of our honorary presenter. So we have already today's activity till now that it began from more than today. We already began the activity since August that we already discussing. We set the platform. We trying to set the digiseminar.id that it's already renewable. That hopefully that it could be more easiest for you to register into our platform digiseminar.id. And since then, we trying to collect many paper from you all, and we already set the review platform also in digiseminar.id that the punctuation which that we will give for our discussion is about the practice implication, that we give more punctuation for the scoring for evaluation for the practical implication, because our activity, just like we already shared, that the name of seminar is International Master in Management Applied Research Awards. So we accept the research, especially that become applied research for master degree, and that will give the contribution for practical business. And based on our review, that it's already scoring by the expert, the specialist in marketing, in finance, in operation, and then in human resource, that we already set 4 category for our paper, and it's already reviewed by the specialist, the lecturer that having specialist in those category. So we will have 2 best paper in each of concentration. The first best paper will have the reward, not only the certificate, but we also will giving award, will giving the money for appreciation. It's not a big money for you, of course, but it's part of appreciation that we have, that uh, don't counting in money, but you can buy your friend, buy your family with something in restaurant. Jadi for the best paper, the first winner will get 1 juta rupiah. And for the second place, we will give 500.000 rupiah for the winner of the best paper of each of categorization. So you will get the certificate and also money. And for that, please share to our committee. You, the one who already having best paper, please share your account number, your bank number to our committee. Do it in the chat box. So maybe there will be committee that having the administration to transfer the money to your account. So that's the thing that we will share. So the first awarding is for best paper. The second awarding is for consulting that we already known that in the morning we already invite the small medium enterprise Legan Trend that they want to make the Legan beverage, Legan beverage, that hopefully it could be the beverage that fit with the young generation and will fit with the global market. So we already have the winner of it also. Okay, so let's go to our announcement to the first awarding for the best paper. Music, please. Let us begin to announce the awarding for IMARA, the third IMARA 2024. That this is collaboration between Management Department of Faculty of Economic and Business and AGPS UTM, and then Master of Management of Universitas Paramadina. We have to set the technical problem first. Okay. Okay, so let me announce the first category. The first category that we will announce is for next slide. The first category is for human resource management concentration. Who is the best paper? We will announce the second place first. The second place for human resource management goes to Septian Rodutul Falah, Hikmah Perkasa, Agung Suryadriyanto, and Ahmad Asmin, with the title of the paper Implementation of Digital-Based Talent Management Transformation in International Human Resource Management. So discussing about the implementation of digital-based talent management transformation must be something that critical and having some contemporary issues in this day. So congratulations for Septiandro Dotul Falah and team from Universitas Paramadina. And for the first place, we'll go to Oki Pratama Zonata, Agung Suryadriyanto, and Ahmad Asmi. That the title of paper is about analysis of the application of communication and cultural adaptation of expatriation in the company. So the first place winner for human resource management goes to Universitas Paramadina for Oki Pratama Zonata and team. Congratulations Oki and team. Barakallah. Okay, so that's for the first category, human resource management. We will go to the next category. It's for operational management concentration. Who will be the best paper? So the second place winner is Nur Hasminda Azim Abdul Halim and Nur Rashidin Hussein and also Abdul Rahman Abdul Rahim from AGPS UATM. The title paper is Decoding Individual Level Green IT, Insight and Framework for Sustainable Adaptation. Congratulations for Nur Haslinda for the paper that you already sent. So let's go to the first place winner. Will be the first place winner is Ria Andraini. And the title is Strategy to Increase the Maturity Level of Risk Management, XYZ, as Government Organization Toward Enterprise Risk Management. So this is about risk mitigation in some institutions in Indonesia, and discussing about strategy how to reach the maturity level in this institution. Congratulations for Riandra ini Simanjuntak from Erlangga University. And let's go to the next category. We will we will give appreciation for marketing management concentration. So the second place for the winner goes to Salsa Muminah and Abdul Suryadriyanto from Universitas Paramadina. Congratulations for Salsa. And for the first place winner, it goes to Alvaldo Dava Darmawan. The title of paper is Antecedent and Consequences of Service Excellence in the Public Sector, a study at BPS Statistic Corner. So that for marketing management category. And for the last category, for best paper will go to financial management category. Who is the second place for the winner? Okay, here ya. It goes to Lukas Nusa Wedolewa and Rahmat Setiawan. And the title of the paper is about financial performance analysis based on cash flow statement of PPRI and the agency from 2017 until 2019. Congratulations for Lukas Nusa Wedolewa. And the first place for the winner goes to Alvin Almeida and Rahmat Setiawan for the paper Executive Female Gender Education and Firm Bankruptcy Risk. So congratulations for all of the winner for the best paper. Congratulations also for Universitas Paramadina, AGPS UTM, that already sending their paper into our international seminar. And I also give appreciation for Universitas Paramadina that sending the highest quantitative presenter, that Universitas Paramadina sending many papers to us in almost 80% of the presenter. So thank you for the Universitas Paramadina that already sending the papers to our seminar. Okay, so something that we already know, that we will give the appreciation for small medium enterprise consultant, small SME consultant. So the best SME consultant will go to, for the second best winner goes to Ajlal Haider from Universitas Erlangga, that already give some doable suggestion for how to marketing Legen from PT Legen Grant. Thank you Ajlal for your contribution to our small medium enterprise. And the first place, we already know that the first place winner goes to Associate Professor Dr. Ivani Ahmad Ishar. Sorry for the typo for the certificate. We will try to revise the certificate. Okay, thank you for all of the audience. So we already have the winner for all of the category for our awarding. So please contact to our committee, especially please contact directly to Ibu Nabilah Ratna Duhita about your bank account number. So we will transfer the reward for your for us appreciation for your effort to following our agenda. So please share your bank account to Ibu Nabilah Ratna Duhita. So insya Allah we will transfer the award to the account bank that you have. Okay, so congratulations for all of the winner for best paper and best consultant. Barakallah for all of you. And as closing remark, I will trying to send my appreciation to our co-hosts, which is from AGPS UTM, especially for Dr. Arlina Abdurrahman and Abdul Rashid and team that already supporting the activity since the beginning. And then from Universitas Paramadina that also become a good partner for our activity. And it will be the end of our activity for the third Imara for 2024. And hopefully we will meet again on the next agenda in the fourth Imara 2025. And it will be held in Jakarta by the host, which is Universitas Paramadina. Is there any representative from Universitas Paramadina? Pak Yus or Pak Asmi or else? Okay, so that's the end of our activity. Barakallah. So hopefully that our activity becomes something that valuable and fruitful. Especially we already discussing the next future research for joint collaboration between Airlangga University and AGPS UTM. Hopefully that you can do the same thing. Please raise your partnership. Please raise your networking. And this is part of how we build our networking by conducting joint seminar and joint awarding. Barakallah for all of you. Dr. Alina, is there any statement that you want to share to us? Or maybe Dr. Irvani that become representative from AGPS UTM?
First of all, thank you, Dr. Gancha. Thank you, Universitas Airlangga and Paramadina for this collaboration. We hope that this will be something that we will do yearly. And thank you for the students who had participated, and also everyone who supported this event. Yeah, I learned a lot from the conference and also the sharing during the consultation. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Dr. Irvani, for your testimony and appreciation. And we also maybe will say sorry if there is something that inconvenience for all the activity that we held. But we are very hope that we can meet offline, face to face, having some connection directly, not by Zoom, just like this. So hopefully in the next agenda in Imara 2025, we can meet each other and make some networking directly, discussing for each other. Okay, so that's the end of our activity. Thank you for all. Thank you for Paramadina. Thank you for AGPS UTM. Thank you for all of our honorary presenter that already participating from the first day until this second day. Okay, thank you. Barakallah. Assalamualaikum. Have a nice day. have a nice activity. Barakallah. Thank you for all.
Thank you, Mr. Ganjar. Thank you, Dr. Rifan.
Thank you, Pak Hanafi.